Hey guys, this is Tensor. So today I wanted to make a channel update video. So recently we just passed 10,000 subscribers, and honestly you have no idea how happy that makes me. I never thought I would reach 10,000 subscribers, nowhere near 10,000 subscribers, and it feels like just yesterday that I was making a video about reaching 5,000 and 8,000 subscribers. For all of you guys who went ahead and subscribed to my channel, I say thank you, and I hope you've gotten enough out of my channel to justify that subscription, or at the very least you will get enough out of my channel in the future to justify that subscription. The other thing that I really want to talk about in this video is the idea of the channel itself. A lot of the recent subscribers that have come to this channel have come by way of Flutter and by way of Rust. Obviously there's nothing wrong with people coming in for one specific language, but you have to keep in mind that this channel is not specifically made for one language or technology. And while I made like 60 to 80 videos on Flutter, and I plan to make more in the future, that doesn't mean that the channel will be dedicated to Flutter now and forever. It just means that I really like Flutter and I want to make content for it every now and again. And the same goes for Rust, Elm, Elixir, Go, and Kotlin, among other languages that I haven't even touched yet. So if you've come in for a single piece of technology and you haven't seen me talk about that technology in a long time, and you're not interested in the current content on this channel, then you can feel free to unsubscribe if you'd like, or you can just keep your subscription and wait until I get back to the technology that you're really interested in. Either way is fine with me. It's not really a big deal, and hopefully you'll get enough out of this channel to really enjoy the content that I'm creating here. The final topic that I want to cover in this video is Patreon. About a month ago, I decided to make a Patreon account. For a long time, I think about a year, some of you guys have said, why don't you have a Patreon? I want to be able to donate to you. And for a long time, I just said, I don't want to have a Patreon. I don't feel like I deserve it because I have a day job, and I know that that day job can disrupt the normal videos that I plan to make, much less any extra content that I should make for the Patreon. However, a month ago I just decided, I'll make the Patreon account, and anybody who wants to donate to this channel can go ahead and do so. Yesterday morning I got my first Patreon donator. His name is Harald Maida, and I hope I didn't butcher that name. When he subscribed, I sat down and thought about what kind of content could I make for the Patreon users who decide to donate to this channel. At first I thought about releasing my uncut videos to my Patreon subscribers, and then quickly I realized that this would be kind of a dumb idea. For those of you who do not know, all of my videos are live coded. I typically sit down with a topic in mind, and then I work through that topic and I create the video that you see on the channel. This means that the sessions which lead to these videos can be anywhere from 45 minutes long to even 2.5 hours long. And while it might sound interesting to see a session like that, live and uncut, and see all the mistakes that I make, see how I'm researching everything and all that stuff, you would really be wasting your own time. Because ultimately, a lot of the stuff in this video is just me making mistakes with how I'm talking about the content. You see, I have dyslexia, and that means that on the fly, it can be pretty difficult for me to really articulate my thoughts. And as a result, I kind of have to go back and redo things, and go back and redo things, and go back and redo things, until I get them to a point where they're satisfactory. So a lot of these videos have long stretches where I'm just saying the same sentence over and over and over again, making minor tweaks to it until it's correct for the content that it applies to. So that idea is out in my opinion. I don't think it's worth just throwing in my unedited videos, and I feel like that would just be a disservice to anybody who actually takes the time to donate to this channel. The other thought I had in my mind was to release my videos to my Patreons a week in advance and then release it to the rest of you guys after that week. Again, I quickly realized that this was not really a good idea for this particular channel. I mean, first of all, this channel covers multiple different topics, and that means that the people who are in my Patreon are not necessarily interested in watching every single one of the videos that I create. And so all I'm really doing is delaying videos that some of you may really want to watch and that most of my Patreons may not want to watch. At the same time, I just really don't like the idea of delaying videos in general. I think it's just best to release a video once it's finished so that everybody can take a look at it. So I have one more idea for Patreon, and it's something that I really think would be kind of cool if I could pull it off. To kind of explain this, I'm going to sort of go back and digress a bit and talk about something else for a moment. So I'm a part of a community on Steemit and on Utopian. Now Steemit is a blockchain service. It allows people to post blog posts, and then other people can vote on these blog posts, and then the blog posts pay out a certain amount of money based on the perceived value that the community assigns to the post. Utopian is a branch of Steem, and they actually go through and curate posts, and then they have a big vote that they add to the post, which then pays out more money than your average Steemit post. I've been releasing my videos as video tutorials on the Utopian platform for a long time, and I've gotten to a point where I've actually started helping the Utopian platform with development stuff and talking to a lot of their staff and really getting friendly with them. And one of the ideas that I've been kicking around for almost a year now is this idea of a live course for the Utopian community. I would go into their Discord, and then I would stream stuff on my YouTube or on something like Twitch so that people could actually see my screen, and then I would teach an hour or a 2-hour long course about some topic. Currently, the topic that I have in mind is Golang and building some kind of production level network application. I haven't really gotten to do this yet, but that's mainly because I've been busy with my day job. Going off of this idea, I figured that one of the best incentives that I can give a Patreon supporter is this ability to sign up for some kind of pair programming session with me, where you have some topic that you want to sit down and dig really deep into, and then I come and we talk about it live on a stream, and we actually code out what it is that you're really interested in. So for instance, say you're really interested in learning how to integrate Firebase into Flutter, and you've already got an application that you've been working on. Maybe we'll take parts of that application and we'll sit down and we'll do a pair programming session where we talk about how we can actually integrate it with Firebase, and I'll address all of the questions that you have. And of course, this would be live streamed to the rest of you guys, and then you guys would be able to watch it and learn anything that the Patreon supporter has learned from the video. I want to try to do the Utopian thing first, the live course first, to see how that goes over before I decide to start adding this as a official reward for my Patreons. I figure that if I can get through the Utopian course with flying colors, then this will be a more realistic way of going about things with Patreon. Also, with regards to this Utopian Golang course, I'm going to, of course, extend the opportunity for all of you guys to come along as well, because I feel that you guys, as my community, have just as much right as the people over in Utopian. Anyway guys, these are just a few things to think about. If you have any other suggestions for anything that I've talked about in this video, feel free to leave them in the box below. If you have any questions or comments in general, of course, go ahead and leave them in the box below as well. And if you just like this video, then by all means, downvote it as much as you like. Have a good night, guys.